Now, for those who don't know, Hawaii is trying to alter or modify or delete the Second Amendment to the Constitution. They're calling for a Congress to call a constitutional convention due to Article 5 and to get this straightened up so they understand what the Second Amendment means. Does it mean an individual right or does it mean a constitutional right? They're saying, well, they don't understand what the thing was between the United States and Miller and the District of Columbia versus Heller. Now, that's just an excuse. They want to open up a constitutional convention, and that will be a can of worms to people you don't want to see. You will see your Constitution completely disappear. And you think I'm talking about fear, you better wake up. Now, right here. The Continental Congress resolved on February 21st, 1787 to call a convention to be held in Philadelphia. Now, here was the excuse for the sole and express purpose of revising the Articles of Confederation. But the delegates ignored the limitations. They ignored the instructions from their states, and they wrote the Second Constitution. Now, any proposed third construction to the Constitution, they will change the mode of ratification. They do it by national referendum. States don't ratify it. They are dissolved and replaced by a regional government answerable only to a new national government. Now, there's a whole lot in here, people, and I'm going to put the link down for this, and you're going to have to go look at this yourself. I mean, there's a whole lot here. This here is exposing the real agenda behind the push for an Article 5 convention, and this goes on and on, people. This is the worst can of worms that could ever come up. When they start calling things wrong, you know, they're not doing this for your health. They're doing it for their own. Long time ago, the Ford Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation, back in '63, I think it was like 50-some years ago, they got together. And they wanted to push for this Confederation of a New America. And this is the proposed constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America. It was prepared by the Revolutionary Communist Party. George Soros got on board, and he's supported by the Marxist leftist professors throughout the century, as well as Cass Sunstein and Eric Holder. They want a progressive constitution in place by the year 2020. Here's the Council on Foreign Relations Task Force, you know. Got to remember who was on the task force back when they were writing this stuff. Ted Cruz's wife. Yes. She wrote that. Okay. Now, I'll see if I can get this in so you can understand this here. Ever since some 60 years ago, the Ford Foundation produced the Constitution for the new state of America. And it has always been the political elite and the big money movers are behind the push for an Article 5 convention. Today's people and politicians who posture as men of virtue and conservative principles are being paid to support an Article 5 convention. The billionaires who are buying the Article 4 convention, the Koch brothers, George Soros, they have no intention of limiting the power and jurisdiction of the government over us. That propaganda they're putting out by the Con lobby, they want it to take roots. And what you don't know already about your Constitution, you won't understand the founding principles as it is. It's going to get worse. The enemies of our Constitution want to do this a third time. Since they know you wouldn't agree to it, they are telling you things which aren't true. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to put a link to this, because there's a whole lot to this, and you better understand it. George Bush and the Council on Foreign Relations and others want to move the United States into the North American Union. Canada, U.S., and Mexico are to merge in a parliament set over them. In order to do this, they need a new constitution for us to transfer us from a sovereign nation to a member state of the NAU. How do they get a new constitution? An Article 5 convention. How do they get an Article 5 convention? Pay people to pose as conservatives and tell the American people that we need a new convention to get amendments which will limit the power of the federal government. And the people who don't understand our founding principles, don't know our history, and don't know what the Constitution says, and you'll fall for it. Now I'm going to read this, move this up. Read the task force report on the NAU. Heidi Cruz was on the task force which wrote the report for the Canada Building North American Community. Americans, wake up. You are being scammed and tricked and lied to and bought and paid for politicians and charlatans who are selling you into slavery. Okay, I'm not going to get into this much more. I'll put a link to this. You people go look at it, understand it, because this Hawaii thing didn't happen by chance. Nothing ever happens in this country by chance, including 9/11, Oklahoma City, Pearl Harbor, Gulf of Tonkin. Nothing happens by chance. It's planned. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. And once you go to this lady's channel, I'll put a link. Be Honest Discourse about Article 5 Convention, okay? I'll put a link down to that. And go there. For God's sake, for the future of this country, now is the time. Educate yourself, understand what's going on, and don't let these people get away with it. Once they get their fingers in the door, you can kiss the Constitution goodbye. If they open that can of worms, that's it. Your life will change overnight. And it won't be for the better. Thanks for watching.